Hi, I'm Dave Schoner again. I am a board member at the Garden State Film Festival and also the associate director of the New Jersey Motion Picture and Television Commission. And I'm thrilled to be sitting here with Danny Bolis, who is filmmaker extraordinaire.
I wouldn't go that far, but definitely proud. Happy to be here. Happy to be here with you, Shoner, and happy to meet these other filmmakers. Happy to be here with Ming, of course. It's just a pleasure all around.
So Danny and I are going to talk today to Joey Scelza, who is has a film at the festival called The Perfect Cup. How you doing, Danny? Danny, Joey.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. And so the exciting thing that we're always happy at the Garden State Film Festival about is that we treat everyone like family, and you are part of the family once you are in the festival. And so you had a film last year at the festival. Let's talk about that first.
So it was called The Term Paper. Me and my old high school teacher, James Dowd, worked on it together with a bunch of other students. It was a fun film it was a fun film, and which we entered it into the Garden State Film Festival. It premiered virtually, and it's about a student who has a term paper due, and he goes through all this little adventure throughout high school, meeting a bunch of his friends, and yeah, we had a lot of fun making it.
And so I know, because I know James really well, your professor really well, and one of the great things about him is that he is so nurturing with the getting kids involved in filmmaking and TV. So before we talk about you, let's talk about, James for a moment.
So he is one of the two video production teachers at Northern Burlington High School that really just made me want to become a filmmaker and like inspire me more and more to get more into this industry. And to this day, he keeps inspiring people. So,
and the great thing is that to be in high school and have the ability to have someone really motivating you and being passionate about the career you want to do and what you want to be is a very powerful thing.
Oh yeah. Not a lot of people can relate to the concept of being in video production in high school. And it's good. The good thing is it's starting to slowly be more incorporated into high schools throughout New Jersey.
And so did you do any video production when you were in school?
So no, I mean, as far as production in school, I did some theater at Kane University, but never actually dabbled into the video production side of things until about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah. So I always had, when I was growing up, Super 8 was the big thing. Okay. So now I'm really dating myself. And I knew what it would take to buy a cartridge of Super 8 film. It was like 5 minutes or something, and it would cost like $6. And to get it developed was like another $2. So that would be like for that period of time. So I knew on my paper route, I had to make so much money. And in our high school, going back, there was, filmmaking was non-existent. And just as I started leaving high school, we just started getting reel to reel. I know that's
Wow.
I know it's like really old. We wasn't even VHS yet. It was real. And so I am enamored and also love the fact that, your school system has a serious film program.
Yeah.
It's
definitely,
yeah.
So like I started video production because my my whole the Scelza family's been at my high school for like ever, and two of them were inspired me to like just join. So my freshman year, it ended up like bringing me. I never thought I'd become a filmmaker until I got into video production class, and I didn't realize I would be doing it for 4 more years.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Incredible,
Yeah. And to have the ability. So last year you were in the film festival. Obviously, last year it was virtual and didn't give anyone the ability to do it. But it's still, I know, great to be in the film festival. Mm. So now the film is The Perfect Cup this year. So yes. Tell me about the film. I mean, obviously I know it because I've seen it. But tell me about the film and also how you got to what inspired you to do it.
So it's about a guy who is played by me. He's determined to make the perfect cup of coffee with this new coffee machine that he got. And by perfect cup of coffee, I mean like perfect latte art. And it's very hard to do with like correctly frothing the milk perfectly and then pouring it in a certain way. And so he just strives to do that, and it takes him forever. And basically, what inspired me to do it is because I just love coffee. I have at least 3 cups a day. With that machine, it actually broke twice. So we had to use a second machine during the film. And so we ended up going through 3 cups of coffee a day on a daily without filming. But with that film, it took us forever.
So with, I know the design on the cup of coffee, because when you go into the fancy, stores and the design that, so did you perfect that? That's what I want to know. Did you perfect that cup of, that design?
After filming, I got so sick of trying to do it. I just gave up after I kind of got it down a little bit. I haven't perfected it though. I'm still trying.
Did you get close to like being able to make anything?
I got close. I got to be able to make a leaf.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
It was not as detailed as a lot of people pictures. Yeah,
and
I can't do that.
If I drank coffee, I am naturally up, a little, hyper, some people might say. And so if I drank coffee, I would be on Ming's ceiling right now and bouncing around the room like a ping pong ball. So no coffee for me and limited caffeine.
And don't get me wrong, I worked at Starbucks at one point, so I did have to do my best at making, but I didn't really last that long.
So a big coffee person?
Not a huge coffee person. Never really was, but I do have my days where I have it, but mostly tea.
Mostly tea. Yeah. And so what is your favorite, because we're talking about obviously the perfect cup. What is your perfect cup outside of the leaf or whatever the design on it? What is your perfect cup?
You mean like my favorite type of coffee to drink?
Yep. Is it Bullet? Is it the Bullet one? What, I don't even know them because I'm, not a coffee.
I drink straight black coffee. That's it. No sugar, no milk, just black coffee.
And you don't have a preference to a particular brand as long as it's straight.
There is one type of brand. It's called Death Wish Coffee. It's the world's strongest coffee. It's actually featured in my film.
It's featured in the film too.
Hi, this is Ming. So Death Wish sponsors our studio here, and
really,
yeah, you can't see it, but there's a jar full of Death Wish K cups over there. I drink it all the time. So anybody who comes to the studio will walk away with a bag of Death Wish coffee. Yeah.
So
they're awesome.
Joey, you don't realize now there's 2 degrees of separation between you and Ming because you both like the coffee. See, I couldn't do it. And you know, right?
I mean, I definitely haven't heard of that brand, but I'm excited to try it. I definitely would try it.
I love it that's the coffee. That's really cool. So take us to the process of making the film. So, because obviously this is a little different from the one you did during school. This is on your own. So, take us through the process, because I know Danny's going to have some comments on this as well.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your process.
Yeah. So there was no crew. I storyboarded. I did all that by myself. I directed and wrote it, but I did need some help filming it with my sister.
Okay.
And so like she would just film over the shoulder. I would try and show her how to do. Luckily she did video production with James Dowd too. So, and right now she's a senior, so she's doing 4 years right now. So she had a little bit of experience with, a lot of experience. It was like we filmed it last year, almost a year from today, and in a month it will be a year. Right. And so she obviously knew what to do, and which was very fortunate because I had no crew. And with that project, it was a school project, so I needed a crew. It was meant for a crew, but obviously we did it with just 2 people, so it was awesome.
That's incredible.
It is incredible when you think about it, because we talk about it is a collaborative effort, and we were talking about this before about how it has to be collaborative effort. But in the way you, with your sister, you created the collaborative effort, and also when you were at the school, obviously everything you did in the school was collaborative. Yeah. So I know it's a comedy and stuff like that. So was that the overall intent? What was your intent when you were? I know we know you wanted the perfect cup of coffee, Gil, but that overall.
My intent was to make it literally just about the perfect cup of coffee, and then I was like, I might as well add some comedy. I feel like it needed to have like a set genre, because a drama about coffee, no, let's make a comedy. So I had my dog taking sips of, it wasn't coffee, but it was water, and we made it look like coffee. And then in later on in the scene, she's like darting around the room, so to make it look like she drank coffee and super hyper. So like, there's a little bit of comedy in there, and I'm not a funny guy in person, but I tried. So and it worked out.
So what is your what kind of what's your genre that you gravitate to?
I'd say comedy, like silent comedy. Yeah.
So I forgot to ask Danny this. I'm going to ask you. So on the making of the music video, what was the funniest thing that happened on that? Was there like that moment? We always hear about how hard it is to make content. Everyone talks about that, how hard it is to do content. And I always like to know what's that funny moment, or maybe there wasn't any funny moments.
There is. I mean, there's always going to be like where you're just on set, the creatives are going, creative fluids are flowing, and you have other people that you're collaborating with. So we're all just like, hey, let's try this. And then you end up trying it. And just like 5 minutes later, you'll be like, either that was really great, or I have no idea why I just wasted my time doing that. But it's a good experience. And then that's where you get the bloopers.
So did you have a particular funny moment? I know, because like I said, I know the film and I don't want to give stuff away.
Yeah, there wasn't really any funny moments, except everything that you see in the film is true. Like there was one part where we ran out of coffee in the whole house. I used so much coffee that we ran out. So I made up a scene on the spot of me buying $125, I think, of coffee, and we actually bought it because we needed it.
Yeah.
So that was really the funniest part about the process of making it.
So where are you based right now?
New Jersey, Columbus, New Jersey.
Okay, and school's virtual, I'm assuming. Yes. Yeah. So I had a feeling. And so where is it that you would be going if COVID wasn't disrupting everything?
Rowan University.
Rowan, great. It's a great school. A really great school. Yeah, it's a really great school. And so, I hate this type of question, but I always like to, because I think it's a great catalyst to find out what's in someone's mindset. Where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself down the line? Because for me, and this is not, the question's not about me, but I never saw myself when I was working on content ever as a director or a writer. I like story and I'm creating stories, but I always saw myself, and I always gravitated was the producing part of production.
Producing, show running, and stuff.
Yeah, show running. Yeah.
So I love directing, editing, and I've had Adobe Creative Cloud since I was in 7th grade. So I've been editing anything I could, and I guess that's like something that I've always been interested in. But I kind of see myself more as like a sports videographer, like working with the NFL or something. But I love filmmaking. It's just something that I just love to do. So I'm kind of on the fence about that.
Well, I mean, I think it sounds like you'll be doing some, cinematography for the NFL to generate some income and making some projects yourself, self-funded projects.
Yes, yeah. It's Carl's commenting, and I can't say it because I'm blind as a bat, about me wanting to get together with him for coffee. Carl also has a film in the Garden State Film Festival as well. Yeah, and so what's next on the horizon for you? What's the next project? What's going on in that brain creatively?
There's no set project. I'm still trying to. I'm in the brainstorming process of another film right now, and me and my sister are actually trying to work on a project because we're bored, quarantine.
Right.
But no set projects right now. But definitely, if I do, definitely going into the Garden State Film Festival.
There you go. I love that. It's the hometown. And, that was what we were stemming from when we started in the beginning. This whole thing that stems from it, that kind of gravitates from it, is that, once you're in your family, it's a big deal. Diane and Lauren, Heather and Eric, it's a big deal to family. And Danny actually had a film in the festival in 2018.
Yep.
And he's back again now.
Yeah,
and,
I love it.
It's exciting.
It's the best festival in New Jersey, one of the best in the country, one of the best in the world, right?
Yeah, it's a great. And this year, we're hybrid and also virtual, depending on where your film block is. So we always tell people that if you're going to attend in person, because luckily we can have some in-person venues, that you should get your tickets ahead of time. There's capacity limits on what it is, but that also, if you want to sit and watch the festival at the comfort of your home, you can actually just buy a virtual ticket and watch the entire content of everything that's happening.
And I think that, I mean, either or, I think if you can make it one day or make it for one like block and also get the virtual pass, I think you're going to win either way, because the stuff that you see is amazing. It's very inspiring, and the pieces are just great projects.
Oh, yeah.
So Joey, I realize that you're new, in this filming world. You're still going to school. But if you had some advice to give someone who is in school, if you were going to give yourself advice now, to someone in school, we're not going to give your sister advice. We're going to give someone in high school advice wants to go into the filmmaking business, or that as a career. What's the advice you would give them? What's that tip you would give them?
I guess keep going with whatever you're trying to think of, because there's been doubts about the perfect cups. Like I made it for a school project, and then my professor said this is really good, and he showed it to my dean, and I was like, I'm going to enter this into film festivals. So I guess really just keep going with whatever you're passionate about.
Agreed. There's nothing else you just have to agree with that.
Yeah, enough said.
I've always gone back about the consistency of passion. And why I say the consistency of passion is that you have to be relentless with it. And if you're passionate and persistent, that's really how things get through. And one of the wonderful things we talk about, and I keep bringing back to the Garden State Film Festival, is they're in their 19th year. And, it's not easy to be around 19 years. And, Diane Raver, and really when she founded the festival, you don't know how long something will last or go on, but she has been passionate about this festival and persistent about it. And I think that's the key to anything that you're going to be doing or want to do.
That's a perfect recipe for love, I guess. Fell in love with what she was doing, fell in love for the creative process, fell in love with the return on what she was, all the work that she put in, and look at it today. It's one of the best festivals out.
And what the key is, and which is great, which I love about, is that people are going to get to see your film, and it is about nurturing that independent spirit and keeping that push to keep on going on. And I really thank you for jumping in today and talking about the film, and thank you.
Yeah, very nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me.
And good luck and all that, and keep at it, man.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Take it easy, my friend.
Have a good one.
Thank you. You guys too.